Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1914 Royal 10 antique desktop typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. 110-year-old piece of history, and this model was made before they put the glass panels in on the sides here. They went with this model, and then they went with the model with dual glass panels on each side. And then after that, they made them just a single piece of glass here, and then they completely did away with it eventually. But this one was one of the earlier ones, very rare. Up top are the adjustable paper guides. Another thing that they didn't have on the newer models is a paper guide on each side of the paper bed here, paper table, whatever it's called. This is the paper bail that sits on top of the page to hold it down, and these rollers are adjustable too. Margins are located behind this flip panel, and they're back here. You just push it down like that and move it on each side, and that's where you will stop on each side. And I like to set it about the beginning and end of a page so I can fit as many letters as I can. So we're going to test that real quick. Right on the edge on the left and pretty close to the edge on the right. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 2, or 3. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, there's a switch right underneath it, and you pull it down. If you want 2, it skips 2 when you hit the line switch. 3 skips 3. That works good. We're going to keep it on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence on the next line. Beautiful typing machine. Sometimes you just gotta help it feed when you get towards the end of the page. The sound of the keys when you're typing is just nothing else like it. Sounds like an antique, beautiful antique typewriter. They don't make them like this anymore. They never will again. This is all you get if you want something beautiful and well designed, made out of some of the best parts ever. You have to go with these antique ones, and you could still type on it daily, and it's better than a lot of typewriters, especially the brand new ones you buy from China. And these are actually probably cheaper than those ones as well. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side here. You flip it forward and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easy, or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. Got a shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the top left. Looks good. Kind of jumps, it pushes it up and over. I don't know if it doesn't cause any problems, but I think that maybe that's just how it was designed. Pretty cool. Tab key on the top right. So the tabs are set behind the panel too, and then there's little inserts. You can put them anywhere on that rack back here. There's a scale on the rack to tell you exactly where they are. They're around 10, 30, and 50, I think, spaces. That's the amount of spacing. It just stops at each one of those. That works good. On the top right, there's a button there for your margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, it locks the key so you can't type past it. You hit that margin release. It will allow you to type past that margin to get to the end of the platen. Finish the word that you had at the end. Above that is the shifter for the vibrator, called the ribbon shifter. So right now we have it printing the top portion of the ribbon. If you have a dual ribbon, you flip it to the low. It says low right there. It'll print the bottom portion of the ribbon. That works good. Right now we have a solid black ribbon. We're just going to keep it on the upper portion. And there's a little switch to the right of that. If you hold that switch and push it to the right, it'll basically not print anything, and that's for stencil, which is for certain copy paper that you don't need to print. All it does is copy the indentation, I guess, of the keys, which is actually also the stencil. So in order to save ink, they had that, and they have that on most typewriters. This is your ribbon reverse. So right now it's pulling to the left from the right, or pulling to the right from the left, because all the brand new ribbons loaded on this left side. And if you want it to pull to the left, you just flip that switch to the left and pulling clockwise. Flip it to the right, it pulls counterclockwise to the right. That works good. Carriage release on each side, right above the knob here. That allows you to control the carriage freely. That works good, very smooth. And this is your back view of the tabs and the margins. So that's how you can just turn it around and set it, or you just flip the panel from the front and set it. Carriage release on the left side, and underneath the knob is this little switch. And if you flip it to the back, it'll disable the spacing when you turn the knob, so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You flip it to the front and you get those clicks. Each one of those clicks is one space. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.